let's see, how long ago did they actually drop the gate, just so we know? Oh, it was about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, so it's pretty soon. So we're gonna do switch over to seeing stream stuff. I will get objectives in real fast, hopefully.
Yeah, here, let me try to note them as well. We got Forge. Oh my gosh, Forge is an objective. Zot, Pan Return, Barren Basement, Masamune, Ribbon Room, and 2 more that they have not scrolled down to. And they're off! You can probably figure out the other 2 by looking at their streams.
Yeah.
That is not a Rosa hero, incidentally. That is an Edge hero with a Rosa partner and a Darkness Crystal.
Hello.
Do you want power and do you want it quickly? Well, here you go. That's a terrifying start. It looks like the other 2 are Rat Tail Trade and Murasame Altar. Per Dunka's tracker. But holy moly. You definitely just want to find... Oh, now the game sounds too loud, by the way.
Yeah,
The game is drowning us out a little bit. Okay. We've got Vitasia going to Watery Pass. BigDunka is going to launch the well and probably go ahead and learn who the other character is. And I'm keeping my eyes up here for ninja weapons. Is Vitasia going to pull anything that'll get this edge swinging early? Karate Shirt's a little strength boost, but it's not an actual weapon. Protect Ring. I don't hit those either. But again, I think I'm a big fan of these seeds of find something that will deal damage. Does a Dancing Dagger count? I don't think a Dancing Dagger counts when you have Edge. I think that's like... That's like having a toast sandwich for dinner. No offense to England. And Captain says the audio is better now.
Fantastic.
Poison Claw, Dancing Knife, Karate Shirt. I do kind of like going to Hobbs here quickly to get a character. I also like Dunka going to the moon to get a character. With Edge as your anchor, you know that you're going to be outpacing nearly the entire team unless you get very specific loot drops. And thus, you really want to have people not falling behind on XP either unless they're going to get slingshotted. Yang here, he'll take that Poison Claw from you once you find a real weapon. Magus Sisters, not bad. I would actually just cast Flame here. I mean, okay, killing Mindy before she can do anything is really good. But I do like the Flame spell here because it ignores their wall. Dunka finds Baby Iridia on the moon. With a Baby Iridia and an Edge Rosa Young, I'm not sure I worry about hunting Bahamut, honestly. I think this would be more of a, or even Leviathan. I think this is going to be more of a, I would just be thinking, I would like to slingshot her eventually, and making sure she keeps 5 levels behind. But honestly, it's not that hard to keep Iridia 5 levels behind with her XP curve. That's all Dunka wanted. Probably couldn't afford anything at the shop even if he had stayed. Vitasia has that young, you know, a character who can hang even in an Edge anchor team. At the end of the game, he'll have sufficient HP and sufficient agility to be a factor and not worry, you know. Well, he's dead. What am I going to do? Nah, he's someone who will probably not die and contribute in one way or another. Dunka going for Damcian. There's a Mute Knife. Magus Sisters, though, being at an easy spot means you won't get a lot of mileage out of it for them, but it's still an Edge upgrade. And Full Moon and a Ninja Shirt. Never don't do Damcian. Holy crap. That's real nice for Dunka. think I'd probably go with the karate shirt instead of the ninja shirt early game, just to get a little more damage. But after the first, 3 years of making fun of the ninja shirt in Free Enterprise, it's really good, I think, especially in Sea Hero. If you're going to have a slightly longer Zeromus fight, you're going to want the magic defense on Edge. And there's a long blade too, Full Moon long blade. I swear, D.Machin's just programmed to give whatever you want for your hero early game. Thank you, Boardface and Zoe. Vitasia here going through the Mysidia shops. I didn't see what was in the item shop. I guess we'll have an idea once we see Vitasia's inventory. He's gonna go pick up that Rydia as well.
Yeah, I do love
Dunka.
Min Tier 3 here for hitting D.Machin up, and we got more than Min Tier 3 out of those checks that you mentioned.
Yeah. Little swappies now. Vitasia getting the Rydia, Dunka getting the Monk. Oh, we do see the flame cast on Dunka's side. Will this kill both front and back? Oh, just the front one. Okay.
Yang, disappointing as ever, cannot quite finish off the middle sister.
One other bit of loot that I didn't mention because it was the heat of the moment. I think Vitasia has a silent staff from the Watery Pass, and that let Rosa dish out like 300 damage to a sister from the back row. But flame's really all you need here. And I think Vitasia is on the, if I'm taking Rydia, I'm slingshotting her bandwagon as well. Resets out of the moon, rather than finishing the cutscene and leaving with the child. I kind of like that. You already have the Darkness Crystal. You probably have in mind that you're going to do a Mac Giant grind at some point. Might as well leave her to the point where you don't have to do Agility Manip in the meantime. Agility Manip, XP Manip, sorry. I said I wouldn't feel compelled to fill like every bit of air on this, but like there's just, I've gotten to the point where my brain is really in tune with the flag set and thinking about all the possibilities of what you can do at any given moment. So it's hard not to start blabbing.
Yeah, no, you're good.
And 2 black belt keys from the first 2 chests of Antlion Cave. What the heck? Mintier, new favorite flag for you boy Inven. Vitasia did pick up an extra stack of Star Veils somewhere. Edge's Flame Spell coming in handy here in Antlion Cave as well. So those black belt keys, I would say, equalized loot just a little bit. Dunka has the better weaponry, but you're going to love those black belt keys in the long run. And there are other places. And you can always just buy a full moon and a long blade once you get underground. Hopefully. That was fast clicking. I don't think there was anything for that football reward. Chat, let me know. We do find the hook in Antlion Cave, though. There's logical underground access. Well, unless we get down there and we see, Val or something. That's probably our logical underground access. Dunka actually utilizing Rydia getting early warp to speed up this exit a little bit. No, wait, it was Dunka who has the good weapons and the black belt keys. I flipped my screens in my brain for some reason. Sorry, chat. Vitasia did pick up a long blade somewhere as well, so his edge looking pretty good too. See, we're gonna get the geese. Click, click. Very nice. So yeah, I'm sure both runners are feeling pretty good, and both runners are also, well, I don't know. I would be in a state of panic with start. But I get the feeling that Vitasia and BigDunka are both pretty unflappable in such regards. Too cool for school. I like BigDunka actually menuing around to Rosa here to make sure both she and Rydia will survive. Will get the XP for this. And conserving life potions. If this were, if they were still costing 1,000, I would be very much on board with that play. Like, yes, smartly done. With 600 GP, I'm burning them like, I'm just going through them like hotcakes. I don't care anymore. 600, I think, well, at this point, I think the 600 was not enough of a price change to really change how I play the game. But again, mid-tier giving us better stuff to sell may be counterbalancing that. Tasia gets hooked. BigDunka gives us another look at this. It was a Dragoon hat. No one on the team can use that yet, but you know, it's a good helmet. Ah, that's where the other long blade was. So, walking out of these two places, our runners will be basically even Stevens. BigDunka with Iridia, Vitasia leaving her for later. Big stack of star bells. Vitasia will get that full moon and the ninja shirt and everything, so he'll also have a back road edge here. Dunka, I think, based on what I saw the other night and some of his practice, is very much a do the order by the book. Like the Darkness Crystal, of course, changed the routing a little bit, but likes to do things pretty much in the storyline order. So has the hook, has launched the hovercraft already, but isn't, you know, taking a peek to get the character or anything. And honestly, with this team, why would you? Like, you're strong enough to deal with the overworld. We'll see if Vitasia's more interested in the character in the shops than in progressing key item checks. Looks like it. We are picking up the hovercraft on Vitasia's side. Oh no, just moves the hovercraft. Well, you know, that makes the evil in me have to hope for a rat tail or pink tail from one of these other two checks, just to make you move it another 2 more times. I can't help it. I gotta, you know, root for the commentator's curse. Baron item shop. We're gonna find life pots. There they are. Again, with the prospect of an early giant grind, you're gonna want those. Valvalis at curious spot here. I think the physical defense at Mylon 1 is acceptable, but there's no magic defense. So we're gonna want to see Edge start breaking out the flame if we want to get through this. Just a reset though, not gonna try magic. Dunka, are you gonna leave? Or just try a different strat? Dunka's leaving. Interesting.
Just bail. Like, I don't think everyone really memorizes all of the spots, so and Dunka is a runner who kind of dips in and out of playing for Enterprise, so it's pretty reasonable to be like, I don't remember these numbers, I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah. It's perfectly understandable, but this is one situation where just the prospect of, like, if there's Cecil on the hook route, it won't surprise me if we take another swing at that. Maybe we'll find some darts. Of course, even if you can't hit her, if you don't know the magic and the physicals, you do know that the aim command and darts will hit her, regardless of location at least. That full moon giving a nice double damage hit. It's another one of those fights where having the ninja shirt on is gonna probably be really handy. I think Edge, even Edge in the back row here, would take a pretty solid hit without its evade. Vitasia through. Nice, Emily. Emily has the valid magic spots. The valid magic spots on a sticky note. That's good. You know, Cat Claw and a Porum, I don't think that's a bad combo of rewards at all.
Yeah, let me change that hero. I forgot to change the hero.
And the timer is still at 0.
Okay.
I know that you had started it
Yeah.
a little late and everything. The if you do want to get it caught up, Twitch, why are you giving me ads? They are at about the 15 and a half minute mark, give or take.
Yeah, I'm about 6 seconds behind Vitasia's timer, so that's good enough.
Gotcha. Yeah. Free ninja hat. Again, C hero. You're not going to say no to any agility manipulating equipment. Although Vitasia, get that charm claw off. Don't nerf your boy's accuracy. Yeah, flip that. There we go. Well done. 10 minutes ago. You did great. Now, Vitasia, of course, you mentioned that Dunka dips in and out, plays other randomizers as well. Vitasia tends to keep pretty well abreast of things. So let's see if he is happy to handle this Val, or if we're both gonna see both runners fading ordeals.
Yeah, Vitasia often found in Free Enterprise commentary booths. So even if not playing constantly, is usually at least watching.
So there goes the spin. Does, however, get actual damage numbers through with both a normal edge attack and a power punch from Yang. So Mega with the brute force method. Even though I think the best damage option here would be a mute knife plus the flame spell. So Dunka, not going back to ordeals, is looting Evelyn Castle. I do know that even with the treasure curve in here, you can get Masamunes out of these monsters' boxes. So definitely some potential goodies in here. Hey, we do see Vitasia using Dart. That's another 8 hundo. I didn't see what was darted. Hopefully it wasn't too important or too precious for the long game. And we're through right before Rosa gets fully petrified. Nicely done, Vitasia. Running right into the second fight. No hesitation, no saving. I mean, with Edge, I don't really blame you.
And rewarded with a fight that's going to be free.
Yeah. If Plague had been here, might have hurt just a little bit, but this, no problem.
Well, it looks like Dunka found Staleman's skull and completed that one in Castle Evelyn.
Yeah, actually leaving the Charm Claw on Yang here turned out to pay dividends. Between this fight and the Mad Ogre fight, Dunka's going to have a variety of means of doing quadruple damage, so that's good.
Rewarded with arty arrows, which are fine.
Anti-dragon weaponry is, well, it's one of those things that can buy you, 4 minutes on an opponent. Just put one pale dim at the ruby spot, and all of a sudden, big advantage to the archer.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think whatever that Quirrell did for its blaster counter did not work at all. Porum gets knocked to the ground, though, by a physical attack. Hey, we upgraded your Legend Sword. Although... This is... If you did not have Edge, would you reset out of this?
I would be tempted. It would depend a little bit. I mean, you do get the full heal in between each fight, which is not bad. But it's kind of gross. Like, even Edge is going to have to do 3 attacks on some of these fights with just 1 flame. Not the best.
Yeah. Dunka getting a Dragoon Lance out of the Lamia Coral chest. That just leaves the Mad Ogre somewhere in here. I guess the lightsaber is at minimum a decent dart for Edge. If Cecil is down your hook route, you'll be happy on multiple fronts here. But this is definitely the kind of ordeals that I tempts me into not bothering with the spot unless it's important.
Yeah, and there's a lot of both runners with stuff that is possibly going to be good for the seed. Having a Paladin Cecil versus not, or having anti-dragon weaponry versus not, and we just have no idea what's actually going to happen.
Yeah. The thing I'd like to see Dunka swap one of these weapons over to one of those mute knives just so Edge can help out a little bit more here. As long as Yang doesn't get double punched, he's doing respectable work here. You know, even with Edge here, the fact that the Ghost all absorb flame, it's so
right. It's so bad.
It's so trolly. Like, you know, just like Goob is saying in chat, like, it's trolly because you do have this move that'll wipe out most things, but then you have to still take 3 more melee attacks afterwards. It's just fights 1 and 3 that have souls in them, right?
Yeah.
All the others are pure zombies or Liliths. Okay, not so bad, but still,
yeah,
just enough to make you grit your teeth.
Right, it's enough to like lean you towards, do I really want this light sword and a possible Paladin Cecil?
And that was Murasame. Okay, there's a good payoff for Dunka. The middle chest, by the way, did I mention the Dragoon Lance? So
yes,
if Kane shows up, he'll be a very happy camper. That's a weapon you can put on start to finish and not have any regrets over.
Yeah, and the Murasame, super nice just for if and when you need to slow Edge down. It does give him that negative agility.
Oh yeah. -5, very handy when he's the hero. And right tower will be monster free. More rune rings are always nice. Some heavy diamond armor for sale. Drain lance if you need to throw. Drain spear if you need to throw. I meant drain sword and drain spear. Another cat claw too. All right. This team is ready to go fast. Although no heroine robes, which is a shame when you have all 3 ladies.
Right?
And also no big Rydia summons either. She is ready to be a Dragon Slayer though, it looks like. I kind of hate it when any overworld weapon shop has the full suite of items, because normally I try to just process it all at a glance, but I can't quite do that if it's, you know, every slot is filled. So it's like, wait, I have to actually do like manual reading? No. At this point, having seen life potions and star veils, I'm guessing Vitasia's mainly interested in silk webs, which Edge hero, yeah, very, very reasonable. This is a team that would love to get a ton of XP from a Mac Giant grind, but it's also a team that is very unsuited to doing a Mac Giant grind right now. We have 1 Charm Claw and nothing else that does bonus damage. okay. Thunderclaws in the Mist weapon shop. So Vitasia now has 2 party members who can contribute nicely to giant slang. Well, robotic giant slang.
Yeah, what is Vitasia's best edge weapon other than, or like, what does he swing in?
It'd be a long blade with it, so...
Okay, so that's Disappointment City. But if he does do the boxes here and gets the Mura, which, nope.
Or even just comes underground and gets more levels. We have 2 Sirens, which even the levels will help out quite a bit.
Yeah, it's just, like, I always want long Thunderclaw to do appreciable damage rather than just like, oh, that's kind of nice edge. But sadly.
Yep. Dunka finding a random Thunderclaw.
Loves this.
And we're going to leave no Myab unturned. Stillman. Lackluster Eblin shops. The main thing of use here is something that we already found in the overworld. Life pots. And a defense sword. So Dunka has a Dragoon Lance, a defense sword, and a Gungnir. No duplicate canes though. There will only be the one.
And that's not Kane.
And that's a Sparkle. I am 10 minutes in the past. I am heavily recommending y'all take the save room here before you go down that hook route. Take the save room here.
Yeah, nothing feels worse down a hook route than being like, do I want to walk all the way back?
Yeah.
To hunt for a demon? At least we do have 2 white mages in case it is an Ogopogo.
Yeah. And Vitasia has to pick up the Edward because did not keep the Rydia and is walking all the way out, not going to the save room. He has other plans in mind, it looks like.
I imagine this is just go do the Eblin Castle boxes upon seeing the Sparkle.
Yeah. Yeah, that would probably be a good option. I mean, there is... The only way it can be Wyvern there is if there's a D-Mist at its vanilla location or at the Magus Sister spot in Zod. Plague is fine. If you... Even without knowing the tricks, if you have that stack of life potions that Vitasia does, you can do the classic of just kill and res while your heavy hitters do the zerking. Pale Dim, kind of a problem. Doot, super slow, you're gonna want these Artemis arrows. D-Lunars, Dunka bought 10 Star Veils. So if it's D-Lunars, as long as Dunka knows the frog strat, A-okay. But that hook route Ogopogo, no one wants to see that.
Just looming.
Ooh, I like seeing Vitasia flip to a Mute Knife here for the Mad Ogres. That's what we want. We want edge one-shotting them. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I think Vitasia might be planning to get...
To do a grind?
I mean, you'd swap Eddie for Rydia, Slingshot Rydia, and Porum. It won't be fast, but it will be powerful. And I think Dunka doesn't like doing the grind without 10 key items, so...
Yeah, Dunka being a little bit more prepared for a few more bosses definitely seems reasonable to be willing to go and just see what this is and see if you can power through it.
Yeah. Would be a little happier here if he'd flipped over to a Mute Knife. Again, this will be the main other spot we'll get use out of it. I don't think when we get to the elements it'll necessarily get a lot of utility there. So yeah. I love that weapon, and it's definitely one of the earlier ones that I came to appreciate after a lot of Rude Asura fights and Magus Sister fights in late places in the game.
Yeah, or even having bringing back Forum and getting that Elven Bow off of her hands and into Rydia's.
Yeah. I wonder... So we know Rydia will be set up for a slingshot. I wonder if there's enough XP at these spots for Porum to be 5 behind the rest of the team. I think she will be.
Yeah, only 180. She can't be much more than like level 12 or something.
Yeah. Of course, keeping Rosa alive will be the trickier part here, it seems. There we go. Dunka through the Asura fight at roughly the half-hour mark. Good, good.
Yeah, and Porum has to be level 14 for Vitasia at 180.
Now we're gonna get... We are getting a safety save here, and for good gosh darn reason. Battle speed going down to 3. I don't hate that either.
No, and I don't hate it for, like, I will often, if I feel uncomfortable, put battle speed down to 3 just for the King-Queen spot, because it can be so punchy.
Yeah. Interesting. Swapping to a Thunderclaw. Ugh! Where's Flurry? Get him in here. Hook route Ogopogo sliding. There he is. You know, Dunka does have like 1,000 darts here too, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, he's got 2 white mages. He's got stuff. He can do okay here. This will not be
Even
quick.
even has that Asura summon on Rydia to top people off when she's not. Man, 600 Artemis arrows. They do good things. Vitasia not getting back on the hovercraft. I think we know where he's headed. Although, I would like you to pick up... I mean, I guess you can do this and then pick up Rydia on the moon and then go do your grind. But the problem there is that if you do mess up your grind, you would have to go pick up Rydia again.
Yeah. Definitely one of those, how comfortable are you with the grind chart? How much do you feel that you can't possibly mess it up?
Yeah. Also, does Vitasia just intend to keep Edward here? You've seen another character. You've seen a better character. Come on. Who doesn't like nukes?
Yeah, I would much rather have level 50 Rydia than level 50 Edward.
Yeah, that is... I love this play. I love seeing the sparkle on the hook route and deciding to go ahead and get your grind on. I don't love doing it with Edward over Rydia. But maybe, you know, you get level 60 Edward and a spoon and I'm eating crow. Who knows?
True, but we do have to find that spoon, and that would be my main hang-up at this point. Or
yeah, you don't have to do a lot of work to... Yeah, you don't have to find Nuke. It was inside her all along. Dunka's fight seems to be going pretty well, though, over here. Definitely, I look over and see everyone is standing, if even just for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, both white mages are up, which is good.
Of course, keeping Yang up through all the waves is a little tricky with our current willpower stats. Does do the life right after the wave, though, so if you're going to do it, that's the time.
Yeah, that is one of the reasons why this fight is tricky so much on the hook route, is that it's hard to outlevel it unless you do a full grind.
Yeah, yeah.
So easy to put your HP totals out of reach of your white mage's ability to cure them. I would definitely kind of like to see one of these characters staying down. If it's Young or if it's Bridia, you could even just go 2 white mages and an Edge and just kind of let it go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, and didn't mention this while Vitasia was setting up the grind. Just mention what the hook route we saw was. But the other real nice thing about grinding here is we have 3 moon objectives that we got to do anyway. And you pull a magma key just by full clearing moon, you're in fantastic shape. Let alone any other objectives you get access to. Like, if I had a pan, I'd be a little more eager to still rush down the hook route just because you're getting the 2 bonus checks, but I really kind of like doing this and then going moon. I wonder if Vitasia forgot about Viridia, or just... Because it is a very weird choice, right, to take Edward over Viridia when there's Slingshot on the table, right?
It feels like it to me.
Yeah.
It is not a choice I would make. And I have a nuke on the table that won't take that many. I'm going to do that many back giants anyway, probably.
Yeah. And if you don't particularly care about getting Rosa to Holy right out the gate, it's just 8+8 for the Rydia and the Porom, which not a bad grind at all.
No, and depending on how much Yang and Edge can do with the gear that they have, there's always a possibility of doubles. If you are paying attention to your setups and can time when Yang has his charging text up.
Yeah. But Dunka threw Ogopogo here, just a little past the 36-minute mark. Very nicely done. Fearing no sparkle, and may end up getting nicely rewarded for it. We'll have to see what's down here.
36 minutes with doing all 3 Evelyn, doing all 5 boxes.
Yeah.
3 in Evelyn and 2 down the hook route. It's pretty impressive.
Did bounce off of ordeals though, but you can just commit to that play. You don't have to go back there. We know it's just a lightsaber up there, and it's one of those things where it's a strategic choice when you're in the seed.
And until you see Cecil, you don't feel too bad.
Heck, I probably don't even feel bad until I see Cecil plus a bigger weapon than a defense sword, which we may have yeeted all the defense swords for that matter, so we may not even have one left. So neither Fey March fight required on the objective list. I think this is the first seed I've seen without a king or a queen in quite some time, but we're gonna head there anyway. We got a freebie. We got a peek.
Yeah, you gotta know what. One thing noting on Vitasia's side, he has hidden Edward rather than just let Edward take a nap throughout much of the fight, which I personally would find a little awkward to have constantly tell him not to show back up.
Yeah, and there's also the fact that if his turn pops when you really want to be throwing a life potion, that can also kind of mess up your verve.
Yeah, that is a huge piece of, like, you're possibly losing on some XP here.
Yeah, and I think I'd rather just commit to using the life pod at the end of the fight than... Like, you are saving some blink casts here, but it's a whole bunch of blink casts or just 1 life potion, so...
Right.
We are getting good damage out of our 2 melee fighters, though. Like, these Mac Giants are dying in pretty quick fashion.
Yeah, I mean, Mura having 4 times damage rather than a longsword. 4 times damage is a pretty big difference for Edge.
Yeah.
Plus there's some strength boosting gear. Like, they're doing alright.
We got a Bahamut at Asura with 11 Starveils in the inventory. Not scared of that. And another Lunar Sparkle at Leviathan. And Twitch chat, it was the package in the rat tail chest, but we didn't feel the need to really
to call that out. It's on the tracker.
Yeah, it's there. You see it. Don't worry about it.
Not an objective.
Oh, Eddie has come out to play. Maybe Vitasia also got tired of bypassing that show button each time.
Yeah, I think it's something that you kind of like run into at one point. And you're like, oh, I should probably let him nap for a while.
Yeah, like if you've not had Edward in this fight, you think maybe this is a good idea, and then you start doing like, this is annoying. I'm not doing this anymore.
He can save one half of a blink for somebody, and then he can do his job by not being in the turn order.
Yeah. This will be an easy quad 9s on Bahamut. I think you only need to reflect like what, 2 of the Mega Nukes here to hit the damage cap.
Yeah, 2 with a little help.
Yeah. Oh, I meant just to hit the quad 9s.
Oh, yeah,
I spent off of 2 walls. But yeah, 23,000 HP, so. But with Edge as the anchor, will these Starvilles be lasting long enough is my question. Guess we'll see when the second Mega Nuke comes out.
Yeah, that is a good question. The answer's probably yes. But it's close.
Is holding... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, is holding A here, so each of these action turns will be a moment that the Starville doesn't get to expire. It still counts down, it just doesn't get to expire if the turn is occupied. So... They're still up! I like the life potion check there, to... Is my wall still up? Is my wall still up?
Oh, there's a couple of them down. That's spooky.
Porum, use one! Use one! Porum, you better use one! Okay.
That got in before the 1 counted. If like you don't have a lot of time when that 1 comes up, but if you get it in before the 1, okay.
Well, good thing he was checking.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you only have to reflect 1 to do quad 9 damage here, right. This is one of the spots where if there was no damage cap, what would it do? Do you remember?
I don't. Because it's always like, that's a big number. That doesn't really matter very much.
I think Tower Key is a good find here. I like making that into a single dip with 2k main checks.
Yeah, and it makes you feel better, a little bit better about your decisions for ordeals later. If you're able to also like route in top of tower, so that's not on the board as a do I want to go do that before I do something else sort of thing.
Surprised that we did not even peek the Sparkle though, so that's going to remain a mystery for later.
Yeah, especially coming into it with some people dead. You could like life somebody up, maybe get Young both Cat Claws and give him get him pretty speedy, and just in case it's Plague, you've got a pretty free reflect kill.
Yeah. And Natasia's definitely gone past 8+8 here at this point, right? Like, it's been... With how fast he was killing, this has to be more than 8+8. So this isn't just getting Porum to Holy. This is powering up the whole team, looks like to be part of the plan. Which honestly, if part of your team is Edward, I think I'm powering up the whole team.
Yeah, the more the merrier at that point. If you are intending to rely on Spoonword, you want him at like 1800 HP if you can. So, slingshotting him to bonkers levels is fantastic. Meanwhile, Dark Elf at the Calbrana spot.
Yeah. The only real threat here will be if it gets in a single punch after the transformation. I like this play, by the way. We didn't see anything real juicy for Rydia, and with the changes to her in 4.6, your odds of pulling something powerful here is pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, it's a little extra. You know, it's the best XP per HP you have to kill left in the game, really.
Yeah.
Especially if it's available right now. And if you don't want all these characters and you maybe want to swap somebody out, like if Iridia doesn't get a summon here, you'll have a different character. I think you get the character first and then you see the summon, so that's a little awkward.
Yeah, if there are no good summons, Palom with 2 Sirens in the tank. He'll get Quake and more. If we save literally any weapons for Arcane, he would be really nice here. If you save the Dragon Lance especially, since that Fey March could be either D-Lunars, or Wyvern, or Pale Dim.
Yeah, and even Plague doesn't really like Dragoon Lances.
Oh yeah. Dark Elf's on. It is annoying that you don't get full XP because of Dark Elf having 2 forms there.
Yeah.
And Vitasia is done. What kind of levels we getting? I didn't see the 5th spell already learned, but the first 4 weren't good ones.
Yeah, I was watching to see if Rosa got to white on Vitasia's side, which she did.
Okay. Which means Porum's going to be like level 60, Edward's going to be like level 60.
Yeah, that's plus 52 levels for Edward.
I mean, don't we have an Artemis bow? I mean, well, we have Artie arrows.
Yeah.
Not a Artie bow. Artemis arrow is samurai bow. Eddie can do work. Eddie can contribute.
Yeah, it's not bad. And
Until he gets hit once.
see, I would be going to the moon here and not doing the hook route at this point.
Yeah, and if you were doing the hook route, you didn't need to come back to your airship. You already had the hovercraft over there. Okay, here we go. That's what I like. Yeah, I agree with this play. I would be all about full clearing the moon. If you can avoid that hook route after, like, it's just good hook route counterplay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good find for Dunka, though. I can see Vitasia fading Dwarf Castle. It's a relatively slow check. You probably don't want to change your team around anymore. And the pass being there does kind of make it likely Vitasia will walk the moon twice. I think I've seen a lot of Dwarf Castle fades on this flag set.
It's just such a popular move in the community. And so it makes it, because of how slow it is, it makes it hard to add to your own game. Because of the penalty of when it's not right, you know, you just hand it to your opponent like 3 minutes. That's real hard to swallow.
So I guess if you go there, one of the big things, like, okay, Rydia, of course, makes you more likely to go there because summons are good when they are good. That's a dumb sentence. Sorry, you know what I meant. But like you said, also, the XP there is pretty good too. So I guess it's probably wise to look at situations where you can really leverage that XP in a way that you don't have other better options for. Maybe that is... Like, I'm trying to think of when it would be the right time to make it versus the right time to delay it.
Yeah, I think like checks for the who's at the Calbrana spot that some runners have incorporated in their games for a long time. I think Rivers and Possum were both ones who like to check Calbrana just to see who's there, and then if it's someone that's relatively easy for your party to go through, then you might as well, because that's really the big blocker most of the time.
Yeah. Dunka does pick up Sylphiridia. That's a spell. Since I think she's still not to Virus yet, the poor thing. Gross.
Yeah, not the boss you want to see.
I mean, Edge is back row glitched at least, and you do have 2 white mages to heal through everything. So this could be worse. Not by much.
Yeah, it's super time consuming.
I am thankful to see that Edge one-shot the orb, though. So that means that this will just be about 10 attacks. Less if, you know, we do some good... If we land some good hits with that, with that guy.
Yeah.
Edward, show us your power. Impressive.
Almost half of 1,000. Let's go.
Rydia couldn't have done that in this fight.
That's probably true. However, that is it's a bar that most people can step over.
Breaking out the old aim command. All hands on deck. Good power punch. We know it's a Kenatsu up here, so
Correct.
I do not hate this save. You got some squishy folks on your team, and if you fail to displace one wave, you're gonna have a bad time. I think Dunka's team's still strong enough to get through it, even if the two squishier ones die, but it's another spot where the XP is decent, and it doesn't look like we're planning to slingshot or Mac Giant here, so.
Yeah, so just feed the XP you can down everyone's throat.
Oh, and I think there went the lightsaber. Vitasia is saying, no paladins from me, thank you ordeals, I'll take that 5,000 damage.
Which fight is more likely to draw out the big cutlery on darts, this Bigan or Valvalis for you?
Actually probably D-Mist.
Fair.
I thought that was the second one you were going to list. Just because D-Mist at like the 40,000 HP spots, oh my god, get me out of here. I can't Zerg, and I need... Just let me go, let me go. But this one over the other two, I think. Like, just because both Val and Bigan, I can set Berserk up, and I'm not too miserable with what people swing at and hit. Pinktail, we're still near the top. I mean, what are you hoping for here? Just Masamune alone? Young don't care.
Yeah.
The ladies don't care. I mean, white shirt's nice, but it's not Leave the Moon for nice, I think.
I'm not sure anything is really Leave the Moon nice for.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you just hold that and hope you get a rat tail and do them simultaneously.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot that saves like the, what, minute and a half, 2 minute round trip
Yeah.
down to the moon, or down to the planet and back.
Dunka has the waves weak enough to not be much of a concern, getting his other melee zerked up. I wonder if we're going to see an attempt to bring one of the kids up at the end once we're hiding in the shell.
I would think so, but
Yeah, I think it's actually a mistake to heal here if you want to do that. I think you need to... I think you only get one of them up anyway. Yeah, here we go. And even that may require a little bit of luck. No, okay. I take it back. Remedy might let you get both.
I don't think we get to Rose's turn fast enough.
Ew. This moon sucks. I mean, the good thing about that particular Golbez spot is he will contribute meaningful damage to himself, and we also have two sources of holy, so it's just a little annoyance. It's just Golbez on the moon makes me go, ew.
Yeah. He eats life potions from your party or camping supplies in a way that other things don't.
Lost rotation stream for just a moment, and we find elements here. Okay. Going on the offense instead of going for a reflect kill, that's a little scary, because if Ruby gets 2 turns off here, the team will quite literally melt.
Yeah, Fire 3 and Glare are going to be real bad. This location.
Duncan gets half of the forge. As long as it's not a scrap metal, like that's the thing. You know, I kind of like not doing the grind here, because if you get a half decent, any of the good weapons for Edge and a Rosa at, you know, a geared Rosa, and Yang as your chemist, will beat Zeromas for you. You're not gonna need, you know, nukes and holies if you get anything but scrap metal. But of course, how many of these do you think people are actually getting the Forge objective done on?
I definitely did not get it done on any of the practice runs that I did, and Vitasia running into the we change our resistances differently in elements than we have in the individual fights, and healing that Rubicant form for 12k.
Yep. And that would definitely have gotten into the glare, but the Fire 3 wiped everyone but one character anyway. Luca Key. Dunka has some more rabbit holes to go down. None of them looking very objective-like, though. Vitasia, on the other hand, probably has all the key items on the moon, but all the bosses that are being rather rude here.
I definitely do wish more runners had an internal calibration that was pretty finely tuned for when do I want to reflect kill elements versus when do I want to just beat it down with it.
Yeah. I mean, if you do want to beat it down with damage, you need to break out that Mage Masher again right here so that you get through this phase. Once you're to the Kinatsu and the Val, it's not an issue. This stage right here is the problem. That's going to wipe everyone but Yang. Yep. I think Vitasia has that Protect Ring on Yang, and even moving it over to Rosa would help out a lot here. Give her the fire resist. Bouncing off of that one and coming back to Golbez.
Not quite fast enough to get around to Eddie's turn.
We have 2 Sirens kicking around. I mean, heck, you can summon a Tricker here and just do your setup that way. It's not going to do anything except annoy you with its self-scan.
Yeah, that'd be a really great way to set up the 2 people you want to live.
Yeah, with this setup, we have enough HP to where some characters will survive the initial spell here. Sand Ruby, are you going to peek for a D-Mist? Or are you going to keep it for 10 key items? But that's not an objective, Dunka. That just leaves...
Gross.
Ordeals, a Sparkle at Fey March, and Sheila 1.
Feel like we're going to get Sheila 1 now.
Very, very reasonable. Alright, Veil's up. Vitasia is looking in shape to be able to beat this fight now. Although, trying to life up the team is a little tricky here. Because what if Golbez wants to kill one of them?
Yeah.
Alright. Edge's attack buffered Rosa's turn to get the Starveil off. There was a tick in time for Porum. Okay. If Sheila 1 is the spoon, I'll probably have a hearty chuckle. It's like you each went the opposite way that you needed to. At least Holy showing its power versus Gildes here.
Yeah, that's a much better number than a red 6,000. Or not a red, a green.
Yeah. I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Alright, Sheila 1. Big ol' whammy. Alright. Moon, Ordeals, or Feymart Sparkle. Would you like more darts?
I mean, sure, if you're not going to give me a key item.
But yeah, the elements fight, if you realize that reflect strats are a thing, even without a black mage, that fight will be fine. Mylon may punch really hard, but anyone with undead resist, if you have a wizard hat, you're fine. If you're in the back row, you're probably fine. Like, there's a lot of ways to manage that very first punchy curse phase to just get the reflect kill. But we do see some weapon changes. Yangir will do a little more starting damage with that Fire Claw. We may even see those darts used to accelerate past the Ruby phase. Let's see how Vitasia manages it this time.
And this to me looks like a grind preparation with Sid saying, put me in coach. And getting a Poison Axe equipped.
Not taking Lyridia. Also going to be a double holy no nuke kind of team. Alright, that's a good punch. Does Eddie have Artemis Arrow's Elven Bow on?
I'm pretty sure
If so,
Vitasia
that's
has,
gonna...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vitasia has the capability of that. I'm not sure what's actually
Yeah,
there.
if this Eddie swing goes off, I think it'll get us over the hump here. Can Eddie take an attack, you jerk? It did that. Eddie had an attack queued during the Fire 2 and didn't get to do it before the Fire 3? What? Start a chain is cheat.
For sure.
That's
Right.
so rude.
Young, it's all up to you.
Is it the final phase?
But he's not going to be doing quite enough damage, I don't think. Maybe?
Rude. Gosh, almost at it.
So Vitasia was setting up the grind by going left to right to do counting for figuring out what seed they're on, where Dunka is doing up and down to figure out the seed, and now left to right to just cycle through encounters.
Yeah, as much as I liked doing the 5 steps at a time for the red dragon manip, here it's just so easy for my brain to do 2s. Like, I should try to adjust that just to make it a little more efficient, but well, we now know it's not plague at the Leviathan spot.
Yeah. But I agree with you. The 2s is just what my brain handled.
Yeah.
Very easily.
The funny thing was that during my last race, I have to say it out loud too, is the other funny thing. Like, I landed and I started going left, right, and I immediately lost count at like 3. And I'm like, wait, no. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I think it's because of the speed at which you walk in Free Enterprise. I think it's just the rhythm that I can count 2s at a vocal, brisk pace.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It kind of matches.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, Vitasia through a fight, Baron Key. That's huge. That is another objective. You have Moss Altar. Is that? No. Muramasa is not in this game. Sorry. There's Murasame. There's Muramasa. There's Masamune.
Yes. Welcome to my shorthand when I write my own notes.
Yeah. There's no other Masa Altar in Fen. Not in this one, at least.
Now, had I actually been fully on my toes and gotten them in correctly, Mura would have been on top of those. Because then it would have been in a vertical order.
No, not Samurai. You want the Elven Bow. You want the Quad 4. It's hard to remember your enemy weaknesses when you're in the thick of a seed.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's why I advocate often for when people race too much or race all the time, that they take time to also play seeds more deliberately and thinking about the rest of the game. Because I think race brain is a great focus, but doesn't allow you to like re-broaden what's possible again. And you need to occasionally kind of widen that river of experience.
Shoutouts to all the old Cataseed homies. They taught some of those lessons the hard way, but also some of them just taught you that adamant armor good. But the battle speed going down to 3 here is something I love to see. Like, again, that previous fight, when Ruby started chain garbage, let him do Fire 2 and Fire 3 before Edward could take a swing with the bow, was horrendous. So I think the battle speed coming down to 3 here is going to do a lot of favors for Vitasia. But again, I do wish the Elven Bow were equipped there.
Yeah, Ruby doesn't do start a chain.
Really?
There now, and look, I pulled up the script to make sure, but it's just cast Fire 2, wait, cast Fire 3, wait, use Glare. There's no chain in there. The chaining is only when you're changing resistances. Yeah, on a transform.
That was a really weird turn order then, because I could have sworn that Vitasia hit attack during the Fire 2 animation, and then Fire 3 came out before the attack came out. But I guess it had to have been right after Fire 2 ended so that Ruby got a tick in. I guess that's the only thing that really makes sense for it on that other fight. But hey, this looks very clean. Got through the pain phase.
Yeah. It's amazing what a little battle speed drop can do. Just getting a little bit of advantage, not slipping a couple ticks or a turn to the opponent is pretty huge.
I know the devs said that they didn't bother setting the battle speed default back to 3 because they have a more elegant solution in mind for 5.0, where I know that you'll be able to like have a profile on the website or whatever. I'm still a little mad at it, because again, newbies, if you care about newbies, like if you just sat down to play your first seed, you would not realize what a difference battle speed made if you were just doing a casual run. You would have no idea.
Making them be the ones to remember to set a profile and change it there. That definitely feels like the wrong burden. But maybe once it's out there and it's in beta, we can re-advocate for it.
Yeah. And that is that go mode? That's almost go mode. That's access to 5 objectives for Vitasia.
Right.
I do literally 1 piece of advocacy for newbies. Well, no, I do 2. The 2 pieces of advocacy I do are default battle speed and play harder flag sets than you're comfortable with. I do think that counts as advocacy.
Yeah, and I do like the having bounced a few times from stuff, but Asia just bailing on the moon. Picked up 3 key items from here, so like about what you'd expect numerically.
And you have 2 of these that are objectives, and between them they also have a combined total of 3 checks minimum. If you want to upgrade the team, you do have a pink tail and a treasury at your disposal as well. I don't know how I feel about that after you've already done all the grinding, but Edge could use a little help here. I would need to see some ninja blades.
Yeah.
Well, a ninja blade. Although I think we're probably going to have to deal with the inventory boss if we go for it. We are absolutely going to deal with the inventory boss if we go for it.
which is a good enough reason to maybe not go for it.
Yeah. You know, that is another thing about actually not looting as much and or cleaning your inventory up more frequently, is that we did see that Vitasia had several tools there that would have made that fight a lot easier, but sometimes you just lose track of them. Like, even if you know they're there and you want to equip them, like taking the time to find them in all the other goodies that you've accrued can be tricky. And if you have like unstacked items, then you can also just end up getting, you know, the "Meh, sorry, no equip change in this combat." So
There's a lot to be said for keeping the inventory lean. I've definitely
the
seen.
good thing.
But
No, yeah.
I've seen plenty of runners go up and down in inventory a couple of times looking for the item they know is there but cannot find because they have an entire full inventory.
Yeah. I was gonna add that another good thing about Vitasia coming back to the blue planet here is nothing should stand in his way. Like, maybe actually that's kind of the benefit of not having a black mage. Even if you get hit with like a weird charm by Wyvern, you can't wipe your team via Quake or Meteor without one.
Yeah, that's definitely a benefit.
I think the only turns Peldim will get here are the counterattacks.
Yeah, Edge is so fast at this point, and this spot is so slow. Meanwhile, for Dunka, would you plan to just go to Cure 4 on the white mages and call it there?
I mean, you've had Darkness Crystal since the start of the game, more or less. There was... I do think that doing the grind at this point, you have to feel a little bad, especially after... What did you even get out of the Underground? Nothing, right? No progression whatsoever?
Right.
You have to find a corner to cut at this point, I think, to feel like you have a chance. Or hope that you're... Or, I mean, you can all... One other thing I like about this flag set is there were certain flag sets in the community where, especially some of the ones back in the day when everyone was still learning all the nuances of the game, where if you made a mistake, you could safely assume your opponent also made a mistake or bounced off of something or had a real bad time somewhere. There were other flag sets where you kind of had to quit making that assumption. You had to assume that your opponent found something that made the fights fine, or just had enough understanding to where if you take a wipe, you then have to find a corner to cut to get back in the game. Whereas here, you might be able to get away, again, with just saying, that sucked for me, it probably sucked for them, I can still play my own game a little bit. But that also depends on how much stuff goes awry, and I think that Underground was very bad for Dunka. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're saying you probably are cutting it short, you're not going to Holy on that.
Yeah, like I think if you had just like one bounce, or if you had an easier hook route, then you'd be like, no, I can do the full grind. But I think with both a relatively slow Ogopogo and a Bubkus Underground, I think cutting it short is probably good here. And you still don't have 10 key items in spite of the Bubkus Underground. That was... Underground was the haunted place today. That was real gross. We finally found something good for Iridia to cast. Oh my god.
At a point when nobody has Iridia left to be on the team.
I do think Dunka would have been better served bringing her. This Sid is not meaningfully helping the grind. This is like all Yang. Like the 800 damage from Sid here. I guess it's technically making this go one turn per rotation, but the upswing of him in the end is not the upswing of Rydia in the end.
Agreed, and the Poison Axe is just so inaccurate and has such a damage range that it's really hard to trust it and know when you can start queuing up extra life potions if your rotation's allowing for it.
Dunka does only go to Cure 4, and in my opinion, got very lucky. Got an Ogre Axe drop. You can upgrade that Sid.
It is less of an upgrade now that Sid's level 52 and has a lot of inbound accuracy on his own, but
yeah,
he will be more consistent. And he can have a shield, which is worth something.
I'll note that the underground was even trollier for Dunka than we initially realized. By getting the tower key and doing the tower key, he also doesn't have an airship waiting for him at the Evelyn landing site. You will have to fly that well back to Mysidia.
You always kind of
Still
love
not seen.
getting a level there from this late in the game after that grind. Somebody got a level from the parents. Fine.
You can put that in on your bingo card.
Yes. But you're saying we still haven't seen...
You still haven't seen the magma key.
No, that's true. What, 2 places on the moon it could be, or anywhere behind the stuff from the moon?
Yeah. This Baigan looks gross, but this is actually kind of like a breath of fresh air after what those moon fights were like, I'm sure.
Yeah, we can throw it in the Zerg. We can probably throw a direct white on the body and just kind of don't worry about anything else.
Dunka about to see the annoyance at the Murasame spot. Now this one's not required, right?
No, this is...
No, it's the bottom one. Mura. Okay,
Yeah.
There they are. Yeah, sorry. Literacy. On Twitch? I don't think so.
Well, if we're playing Link to the Past randomizer, then we do get literacy.
Oh, true. I think Eddie has broken 4 digits for the first time this season.
Hot take.
So that'll add up a 5th objective. I think you'd still do the, even if this had been go mode, I think I'd still do the Baron Throne in hopes of like, well, no, I guess if you got the rat tail from it, it wouldn't matter. You could walk out. But even if this were like the pan, I would be like, let me go try to get a magma key.
Yeah, anything to avoid that hook route. Which would have been the one reason to stay on the moon, too, to fully exhaust its possibility.
Yeah. I wonder to what degree some of like the things I do are just because of like being scarred by early seeds. Like, I will, even if it's an objective and the Baron Throne is not, I will still nearly always do the main throne first. Like, I have memories of there have been a lot of seats I remember where people would walk into the Odin room to find a Golbez and wipe and have to walk through the waterway all over again. Maybe this is really just an argument for tracking your bosses well.
Yeah, I think that's really what you're getting down to, because if Golbez Wyvern on the table, it's a real good reason to either change your battle speed or do some prep for either of those fights.
Yeah.
Which involves just doing the main throne first and saving, and that's good prep.
Hi, Kane. We found about 18 weapons for you this seed. Isn't that exciting?
And we don't have any of them left. Because you weren't here to claim them.
So this is Vitasia's last available overroll check. After this, it's either, if this is not progressive, either got to take the hook route or go back to the moon.
Yeah, and have we done D.Machin checks at the Waterfall and Mist Cave?
I thought someone might have looked Waterfall, but I don't think anyone's gone Mist Cave. Alright, we're not done yet.
Oh, take the Swagabow.
Ah, the furtive Swagabow. So easily forgotten.
Also importantly, because if this isn't a key item that you need, you just get to reset back to Baron.
Yeah.
Which is a much nicer reset point.
Yeah, whether you're electing to go... Yeah, it just is. You're right. I don't need to expound on that.
I mean, you're welcome to if you want, but...
I'll be okay. So I do know one difference between our runners here is that Dunka's going underground got him cabins, and I wonder if Vitasia's bailing on the moon instead of doing Wyvern Altar was partially due to a lack of supplies to replenish before it.
Yeah, that's an important consideration that I wasn't quite paying attention to.
Yeah, because I saw Vitasia popping Cure 2s like candy between fights to get the HP top back up, but if you run out of MP... I mean, I know he had a couple of Ether 2s, I think, but I don't think we had a stack of Ethers and no tents or cabins either. I'm not positive, though. So one of the best things that could happen for Dunka here would be... I guess this to be a dead end for Vitasia, and then Adamant to be in one of these other moon spots.
Yeah. Because that board, I mean, Dunka is going to, he did do Murrah, so we can give him credit for there.
Oh, yeah.
But Dunka is a little bit behind in the foot race of stuff you gotta do.
But is prepared to stay on the moon for a bit longer. Anyway, I'm listening to a Twin Heart. Oh, you thought we was done? I think I have at least one time oh, that's a good mode. Reflexively done a reset right there when it was Bubkiss when I had just fought a D-Mist before. I think it's had to have happened because of muscle memory one time.
I would be shocked if it hadn't happened to many people.
But that is absolutely a go mode for Vitasia. I do hope that he peaks D-Mist because, of course, a Magma Key would make this a lot faster for him. Or a Rat Tail would make it a lot faster for him.
Yeah.
wisely landing on the right side. He's not seen the package yet. BigDunka had so many Starvels and is finally nearly out of them. Hey, a rat tail. All right.
Sweet, we don't want to go underground.
Hashtag never underground. There we go. Forget never moon, never underground. That is really unfortunate for Dunka, though. Just the fact that 7 objectives, 7 of the 8 did not require going underground. And, well, no, Legend Sword was underground, but 7 of the 8, no underground required.
Yeah,
that's a rarity.
Yeah, that is uncommon and brutal. But is part of it's 6 of 8 and half of the 6 require Darkness Crystal. Part of thinking you have to factor it in.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I think that's a cute little purchase from Vitasia that I like. Picking up 10 Thor Rages. We have no Black Mage. I think we used all the ones earlier on the grind. This is, if you just need a quick instant action to nerf a Big Bang, that'll get you there. Crystal's much slower animation. Oh my god!
That's so gross.
7.5. 7.5 gated by Moon.
And hey, a dart.
Okay, the best thing for BigDunka now is Vitasia wipes twice at Zeromus, decides to go see what the forge weapon is for Edge. That's the only way. We go all the way to the moon, we wipe twice, we leave to get a better weapon, and we come back. That's it. That's the only option I see.
That is a heck of an option.
I mean, I don't think Zeromus is free with this team.
No, it's not. And actually, I was going to, like, my one hobby horse for this tournament is trying to convince people to really contemplate your party order for Z. Know who's fastest and put them in order from fastest to slowest. Especially for the Z fight. Have a plan for your first turns.
Yep.
When you're practicing, you should be paying attention to this stuff and practicing that. Because it will make your Z fights easy.
Vitasia doesn't have the Legend Sword. That's a good point. So Vitasia will not be going to Forge. Vitasia would have to go down and fight the Bahamut Edisura to get that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was me. I was mixing up the 2 players and their combined key items. Sorry about that, Nathaniel.
I mean, at the point that you're that stymied and want to go see what Forge is, you're just gonna, like, you might as well hunt for it, too.
Yeah. Now, the good news, though, is, of course, Vitasia's Yang is ridiculously... Like, Yang is such an enabler on this lag set. Like, if you have 5,000 HP, it's great, because, for one thing, it frees up your White Mage for a turn after the first Big Bang. You know that you don't need to heal that one if there's something more pressing to be done. But the thing I'm worried about here is item-based curatives. We have 2 White Mages. Porum did get slingshotted, but the gear's not that good on them. Like, right? Like, for how much looting we've seen this seed, like, the team is not well-equipped at all.
Right, we've seen, like, I know I saw Dunka have some wizard shirts, but Sork robes and white robes have not been very much on the...
But it is also kind of hard to wipe with even your Porums at 2200 HP. Not impossible, just hard.
Oh, and Dunka getting trolled by Plague a little bit, but has plenty of people dead in order to life them back up and reset those counts.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of life potions left, though, after having done both, after having done the Mag Giant grind and everything. So we're down to... Okay, casting the spell, yeah. Better call there, I think, than burning a potion, even with the slightly... It's a little slower to cast Life 1 than to use a life potion, right?
think so, yeah, because you just had that entire I'm just casting a spell animation before they actually do it.
Yeah. But also, even if it's spell speed 1, that's still 2 ticks of the ATB versus 1 for an item use, right?
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that is going to affect stuff at these RA values, though.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like, I mean, it could come into play, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal.
Yeah.
But oof. These Edge did get zerked this last round, so we'll be doing pretty better.
Yeah, I have no idea what agility Edge is at. I do like the Zerk coming up immediately. I think I would have liked it on Edge better than Yang for the first turn cycle, just because, again, it's one of those subtle things, but having your fastest character in slot 1 be Zerking helps you, how to put this, it helps you capture the pointer when it comes back to your team, right? Like, it's looking back and forth, and if you can, grab it, you can then kind of start your own chain. Your super speedy character attacks, the next berserk you have queued up or your cure spell goes off, that allows the pointer to stick around for your next action to go off. Like, that's... I don't think I've seen it really described that way, but I think that is something to keep in mind.
And something a little more tangible, too, is I hate it when the Zerk pops open, or the Zerk, the window to tell the melee character to do something pops open before the Zerk that I've targeted them with actually hits.
Yeah.
So I'm just like kind of sitting there letting text go by. Like, that feels really gross.
Yeah.
And so if the more esoteric, harder to see aspect of the pointer doesn't convince you, maybe the faster I never have to tell the person what to do, and their turn never comes up in the menu queue, will feel better.
Yeah. Whenever I talk about turn utility in this game, that's always what I'm talking about. Am I sitting in the menu waiting for something else to happen, or am I able to, as soon as my menu pops, do what I want to do?
Yeah.
This sprite is a reference to the classic anime Neon Genesis Evangelion. In it, there is this mysterious council of world leaders who are funding the Ava project, and whenever this secret society is talking in their voice chat, they are replaced with those to hide their their faces. And now you know one of the 3 things Inven knows about anime.
There's not one of the 0 things I know about anime.
And Dunka over here, seeing the big numbers coming out. Everyone survives the Fire 3. Are we going to get a transform before the glare?
No.
That's gonna be reset.
Yeah. Because you might like Sid, but he's not carrying the rest of this fight. Not even with that transform.
Yeah. You gotta hit the... Yeah. That is another one of those cute little things is, in a Dream Seed, you never wipe to a boss. But when you are wiping, knowing when it has happened before it happens and cutting your losses is...
It's 30 seconds to a minute per time, sometimes. Of, like, just time you get back for yourself if you realize this isn't gonna work. I gotta cut it.
And I do want to point out that although I said at the start that I do love having your speedy anchor get zerked, with the levels Vitasia has, I do understand why he didn't. And that was to get an early dart throw that did I think that X-Cal did 9,000 damage.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like saving my darts for the end of the fight when you're just, if things go right, you're like, please give me a phase shift, please get me to Meteor. But throwing it at the start to help get to the first phase shift, also fun, also great. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no, a lot of this is sliding calculations. You gotta kind of, over the course of playing a lot of seasons, figure out where you're at in that entire entire massive stuff and numbers that are going on behind the scenes. And I know people don't seem to care for doing math while they're playing this game, but it's a little important for going as fast as we possibly can.
Oh yeah, especially at the Z fight, like, and it's one of the worst things, for me, it's one of the things I'm worst at. If I am not, I mean, I never keep track of it, because I'm always thinking, I'm not thinking about the numbers, I'm instead planning out what I'm going to do, even though that is kind of dependent on the numbers. So I'll say outright, I am terrible at estimating where I am in a Z fight. It will suddenly be dead without me expecting it, and then other times I'm eating an extra big bang that I didn't think was going to happen. So
yeah, and I remember, like, I've never paid close enough attention to the numbers for it, but definitely there are people who know if I'm doing about this much damage per round with Zerkers, and there are a 1, whether or not that I'm going to hit the Big Bang into Medio, or whether I'm going to get a fake shake and not have second Big Bang run shake into it. And that's one of those pretty important stuff on a different flag set to get correct.
This is also one reason why I will frequently overgrind in my grind fight, just because having extra safety for Zeromus is really nice on ZC hero flags. But also, GG's Vitasia was a, what, 135 and change?
Yeah, official time.
The room got deleted.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
No one made it official, so yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, and Dunka apparently forfeited soon thereafter, so. And apparently raided Vitasia soon thereafter. Or closed stream and your Windows just now changed what it was capturing.
I think either one is fine.
Yeah.
We can pause that. Vitasia does want to do an interview, so let's see.
Is he even on this Discord?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. Worst case, we can just move over to yeah.
Yeah. Let's just scooch over to General 2 on the workshop. I don't want to force people. We're in General 2 on the workshop. Hey, Vitasia, GG.
Hey, what's going on?
Well done. You know, people have frequently said Moon's haunted. This time it was the underground that was haunted and caused Dunka a little bit of strife. A lot of work underground for not a lot, while your leveled team was kicking the Moon's butt and finding 7.5 objectives.
Yeah, I figured there, the Legend Sword must have been underground somewhere because literally everything else was moonlocked at that point. I told myself that when I go to the moon, I would be up there because there were 3 objectives that were up there. It's like as soon as I find 2 key items that are also objectives, I'll go. Like so once I had the Baron Key and Earth Crystal, I was like, well, let's hope it's not a cave value or a crystal sword altar. And luckily just everything rolled up behind that Baron Key.
I think my other big question is why Edward instead of Rydia? Did you forget she was up there, or was this an intentional play?
So I with Edge start, he is too speedy for me to really do anything, and we only had 1 black mage. It's like how useful is Rydia really going to be? So between that, I'd already committed to double white mage, Zerk up strats. I was like, let's YOLO and maybe I find a spoon because I know I'm going to have to clear a lot of stuff out. So it was an intentional choice. It was kind of like my 5th character option, and I was hoping for a spoon since I had already kind of committed to Zerk strats with double white mage. Didn't necessarily work out like I wanted it to, but all's well that ends well.
Oh yeah, like if you spike a spoon from that Murasame altar, immediately everyone's like, "Oh my God, how did he know? Look at him go!"
It was I looked like a genius, yeah.
Yeah. So no, I feel that. And that was thought like, hey, if spoon pops up, this Eddie's going to be carving up everything. So I get you.
but yeah, real happy. I did the treasure chests, the two treasure chests in Eblin Castle explicitly just to get up to Blink on Rosa, knocking over Eddie and Porum so they could get slings, and just happened to run into a Murasame while doing that. I felt like knocking Edge's agility down just a notch really, really helped things go smooth.
Yeah, the grind fight went even better than I expected. We were a little worried because Edge not having, a dream loadout. I mean, Murasame is pretty good and everything, the but you only had two real characters hitting the giants, but it still went very smoothly. You had a great rotation going and definitely got the power you needed.
Yeah, I'm still really bad about kind of freeforming and not exactly counting how many giants I'm doing. So I kind of told myself, I was like, okay, I'll run out of my stack of Thor Rages and then I'll start hitting it for summoning it instead of trying to be cheeky about it. So I didn't really count how many things I needed. I just figured, that'll get me high enough, and any other levels I get, I'm doing a bunch of moon bosses anyway.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, definitely fair enough. It's tricky to, especially if you're not comfortable with looking at some of the various spreadsheets for how many levels do I need and how many giants get me there, uh, to do that math during a race.
But yeah, it was fun. When I was looking things over, as soon as I got the pan, I'm like, great, I'm in go mode. Let's check this Mist Dragon just in case it's Rat Tail. And lo and behold, Team Fate Underground. Yeah.
Yeah, loaded moon, and we didn't even see all of it. Still a wyvern altar and a cave Bahamut, but who needs those things? Uh, I didn't see the spoiler log because we cut. Did you see where Magma Key was?
I did not. I was kind of going up and going to the bathroom and taking care of adulting stuff around while the spoiler log was rolling.
Gotcha. That's just the one thing I'm intensely curious about. I mean, you didn't need it, obviously. No underground for you, but it's the one thing like, wonder where that is. But yeah, that's all
Yeah,
the
that
questions I
was.
had.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, 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 I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm just really happy because Dunka is a fantastic runner. He's been, a member of this community and other randomizer communities for so long. So he's just a top tier gamer. So really, really happy with this win. Starting out 2-0 in D.Machin group. And this is kind of a scary group. You know, I didn't think I'd be 2-0 to start things out.
Yeah, I know that the settings are a little bit hard to get to at this point, with Flurry's site having his host having some trouble staying alive and awake. But how are you feeling with your overall placement and looking forward to future races?
I'm really happy with how I played this week. Last week I was not necessarily happy with how I played, but I still escaped with the win. So going 2-0 is fantastic. Really looking forward. I don't know who else I could. I think. Uh, I mean, there's a few. I mean, everyone who's undefeated at this point is just an amazing runner. So there's no free races left. Just got to keep doing my best. I think I'm starting to get the rhythm of these flag sets down. So immediately we're going to start throwing wrenches into it and doing new things with it, and I'll be lost. But no, this has been a fun tournament so far.
I was sorry about my silence. I was going to your VOD. I have some fun news for you. So the Wyvern altar, no idea what bosses they are. It had your spoon for that bard of yours. And at Cave Bahamut, the Dark Imps held the Magma Key. So
Of course.
Moon just how many key items is that? That's ridiculous.
That
It's a
was a ton.
ridiculous
Let's
amount.
see. It was because I got, let me see, Zot and Earth Crystal from there. And Adamant Rock was up there as well. So that's
Pink Tail was there.
four. So that's six. Oh my gosh, 6 out of the 7 locations. Oh,
Ridiculous,
No, it had to
ridiculous.
be. There were two misses because Ribbon Room was an entire zonk. It was White Spear and a dart, a throwing item.
Yeah.
out of the ribbon room this time around.
Oh, maybe Adamant was.
I think Adamant was
Well, the
through
thing,
the moon.
yeah,
Yeah,
Adamant
Adamant
was
was through the
through
moon.
the moon.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
on the moon, but it was through the moon. Yeah, definitely an outsized amount of key items on the moon. And you mentioned like you feel like you're getting a rhythm for the flags. Um, can you articulate what that means at all? What speaks to having a rhythm for the flag set? What does that mean for?
So for me, like I kind of divide my runs into phases of the game. There's early game, mid game, and late game. And you kind of switch up what your early game looks like depending on who your characters are. The mid game and late game don't really change a whole lot. I mean, at that point, it's melee party or caster party or hybrid party, and like you do a few different things that way. But the opening, I feel like it really changes a lot depending on what personnel you have. So I'm just now getting comfortable with kind of all different kinds, like fast heroes, slow heroes, heroes you need a lot of equipment, heroes that you could just kind of YOLO hobs almost immediately. Um, so everything is starting to flow together so that my early game is flowing into my mid game. I'm doing grinds typically, 35, 40-minute mark, which is, the earlier the better, the more you can leverage it. And the grind is becoming that Mac Giant grind, which just is so prevalent in this flag set. Once you get into that rhythm, you can grind out everything in less than 10 minutes, and it's just a fantastic feeling.
Are there
Nice.
any kind of little clues for you for how you're knowing how fast your back giant is going to be before you get into it? Or are you still kind of figuring out how long it's going to be once you start seeing damage numbers?
With damage, it's going to take 1 to 2. Like if you're getting Rosa to blink and all of your other damage dealers are around the same level ish, in the early 20s, then it's going to take about 2 rounds of fight, regardless of what your equipment is. Um, there are different ways to enable that, but as long as your damage dealers are around that area, just bank on 2 to 3 rounds. You're probably not going to get 1 round until you're in your late 20s, or a lot of equipment to enable it. So it's just kind of a dial you adjust from there. And I go by feel, which is really, really, really bad because I know there's people who have a mastery of the numbers behind it, but it's like if you get Rosa to blink, and you can bank, about 1.5 to 2 rounds, you should be good. You can get through that. If you average one Mac Giant a minute, that's very, very quick, and then everything else just falls beneath you afterwards.
Sounds good. That, I think is about all the questions I had for you too. Did you have any more that came up for you, Infant?
No, just GG's again, and yeah, getting the feel of that grind is going to serve you so well going forward, and enjoy the 2-0 status. Next week will of course be another challenge to deal with, but look forward to seeing how you manage it.
Okay, appreciate it, guys. Have fun. Thanks for the unofficial restream, and I'm looking forward to watching this one back. Thanks all.
Yeah, thanks for letting us do it. Have a good one.
Take care. Main announcement, I guess I'd say to relay to people is the next restream match is Garen versus Flossie on Free Enterprise in a little under half an hour.
Yeah, so absolutely go check that out. Should start at 6 o'clock Pacific. You can adjust your own time zones from there. I'm gonna give Pacific Coast the advantage this time and just give its number because it's my coast.
Annie, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I'm going to dip out while you close up shop, and I'll see you later.
sounds good. Thanks for joining me and thanks for giving me the reminder to put this on. And of
Hey,
course,
no doubt.
thanks everybody out there for watching and chatting and stuff. I hope you had a good time. And we'll do more of these throughout the entire system. Hope you have a good one and see you and the Free Enterprise restream in half an hour or so.